Hello, Truth Seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, giving meaning to our lives gives us that sense of purpose, sense of direction. We create a healthy boundary so that we can create a healthy lifestyle. Just think the life you have already lived without the purpose. And now you have a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, the sense of direction, you can, give a meaning to your life and then redirect yourself. If you see those two lifestyle, no direction, it's fun, wild, but also stagnated, limited, or lost, confused. The meaning on the other side gives us that vision on how to make your life better, supported. Isn't it? The word, the meaning can inspire people. There are people who are addicted to drugs, alcohol, and other stuff. When they place the meaning behind their life, people have the power to disengage from life deteriorating journey. That can happen. When the person is addicted to something and their life is, going through different phase. For example, the person is having a kid, becomes a family man, and at that moment, if the meaning comes in, that meaning fuels the person. The meaning reorient the person, fuels the person inside out to act better for the family, for the kids, and disengaging from, the addicted world can dissolve. So that's why the meaning is powerful. Meaning, creates that healthy boundary, gives us that clarity, gives us that focus, and it's a good thing. However, now there's a however, when we are aligned with the spiritual journey, all meanings from our lives must go. The meaning is an idea. It's a belief. It's a preference to organize the life. And, that is the mind. From the mind, we're acting to make things better. That mind has to dissolve to see the truth, because truth is not the mind. Truth is not an idea. Truth is not a belief. Truth is not even the experience. All experience come and go on the background of who we are as a consciousness. And to see the nature of the consciousness, we have to dissolve all meanings. Especially, it's hard to let go the meanings when the meaning has proven to support life. Notice your own life. When you start placing the meaning and you act with the meaning, you start to build up your life. You see the result. When you see the result, the trust in that meaning builds up. That single idea, becomes a preference. And you keep moving forward with that meaning. The meaning may be upgraded to new meaning, but still a meaning. The upgrade brings a new meaning. And then we're still moving. We're still, making things in our lives. There's a, drastic transformation from being nobody to being somebody. When you have reached that place, becoming somebody, that somebody is supporting life, there's a comfort. That itself has ingrained that meaning in you. When something is ingrained in you and you have seen the positive shift, how can you let go of that meaning? Isn't it? Spiritual journey is asking you to let go of the meaning, but you have seen a lot of, transformation from that meaning. It becomes a challenge. Now, let's go further towards a spiritual scenario. When you start to align with the spirituality, there are also lots of ideas, a lot of affirmation, a lot of reference about the truth, short of truth. The idea, the byproduct of the truth as an idea. When you have moved with those ideas, and when you go through the inner experience, through meditation, based on technique, based on visualization, can bring you a lot of flavor in your life. Especially when you go through the experience that is above the mundane, above the ordinary, that you don't experience certain things in your open eye situation. When there's that heightened experience from the meaning, from the practice. Meaning is there, then you put yourself in the practice, then there's a heightened experience, which is the mystical experience, also the visualized experience. And when that can alter your thinking, which can give you the experience that can change your thinking pattern, and you ingrain in that. Now, that meaning is even harder to let go, isn't it? The spiritual meaning is a lot more harder than the relative meaning. The relative meaning can change faster. You give meaning to your life you go with the meaning, you upgrade yourself, then you're from that you're understanding, and then the upgraded meaning can come. So it's a changing. But the spiritual meaning, when you've gone through the, experience, strong experience that can sift your mental construction and emotional construction, and sift your psychological. When you get there, it's very hard to let go. Hard to let go, but still possible. When the belief is ingrained, we just have to, be aware. But awareness will help us to see the ingrained belief, and we will be able to work on it, and we will be able to let go eventually. So just reflect in your own life. What meaning you are attached to and having a hard time to let go of it. Another example is the idea of God. That's the highest meaning, isn't it? The idea of God, divine, is the highest meaning. And when that has been a lifestyle from our childhood to now, even there's no understanding of what God is, there's no exploration to figure out what God is, but it has already been ingrained because of the environmental movement, because of, the influenced by our family surrounding, the whole country, the whole world has that meaning. It's the good, it's the reference for the truth. That one part is good, but also there's a blind faith on that meaning. So that is the highest meaning. And when we are talking on this topic, that we must let go that meaning as well to figure out the truth, the inner truth, to see the plain sight truth. People get defensive on that topic because this idea is, sort of, thought-provoking. And if the defensiveness is coming, that itself is a sign of ego, isn't it? We're trying to protect something. To figure out the truth, we gotta let go that act of protection. The protection is the ego layer. The ego wants to be on that highest level of meaning, that credential. Ego loves the upgrade. Anything that threatens the ego will always fight. That's why the three things that we do, we control, we resist, and we run away. So, take a look at your own life, be reflective. And, every true teacher has always asked the seeker to let go everything. Let go the mind. Let go the mind. Let go all beliefs. Let go all ideas. By investigating, you cannot let go, by pushing it. We have failed on that part by pushing the idea that we don't like. Right? It always bounces back. That act is like, you're holding the ball under the water. Eventually, you get tired, it will resurface. Same thing in the, when you control your mind, you fail. You're pushing the mind, you fail. The only way to be successful, to dissolve the mind that is creating so much stress, so much fear in our lives, is by investigating. And this is where, one must learn to trace the mind backward, tracing the surface, friction, to go all the way backward to figure out the root. And once you see the root, you have to dismantle the root as well until there's nothing is left. So today we are talking about the meaning, right? The giving meaning to life is, healthy, positive in a relative sense. Now, when you're walking on the spiritual path, all meaning must go. Now, ask yourself, why do I have the meaning in my life? Yes, sense of direction, purpose, because of that. But why? Still ask why. No matter what answer you see, you ask yourself further why. Why that is important, why those things are there in my life. Keep going backward with the why, and that's the way to create the real inward journey, figuring out the root of the surface movement, root of the meaning. And that root itself is the denial of the true reality. And you have to go further, back on dismantling the root, using the same why I'm attached to this root. Why am I functioning from this root? And that why is going to take you further back to no mind. So this is just one layer of your life. And if you can go in all the layers, heavily influenced layers, heavily attached layers in your life, that will make you thorough in dismantling the mind. You understand so much how the mind comes into existence. And when you are thorough, you're coming close to face the truth, the unchanging truth, and that's where all mind drops, the ego drops, and you're anchored in awareness. You are awareness, and life happens from there. And you'll also understand why there is a meaning in the first place. And the meaning, the rules and regulation is there for, support for the crazy mind, showing the boundaries. You cannot go above that. But when you walk backward to the truth, then you don't need. You're just aware, you're egoless person. And you just move with that. You are moving with awareness. Life happens from there. And that's where the easy living begins. The fearless life. You're not afraid of the death. You're not afraid of losing. So the burden is just off your shoulders. That's the, that is the real transformation. which is figuring out who you are. Okay, that's all for today in this video. Hope this video makes sense to some extent. Hope you're enjoying your backward movement. Keep going, guys. Be thorough. You'll get there. And yeah, if you're new to this channel, subscribe and support this channel. Yeah, and take care for now. See you in the next video. Bye.